Once you've registered for online classes, you won't actually see anything show up on your Blackboard homepage until the day before the first meeting of the class. So if it's an online class that starts on a Monday, you'll see your class show up in Blackboard the Sunday before. If it's a face-to-face class that doesn't start till Tuesday, that class won't actually show up on Blackboard until Monday. When you look at the Blackboard homepage, the way that you can get here quickly is to go directly to the URL online.ivtech.edu. And if you type that in, it will go directly to this page. Over on the right-hand side, you'll find important information. Here is a link to a Getting Started webinar where you can go in and see very detailed information on getting started in online classes. You'll see down here on the right that we have some scheduled maintenance coming up. Friday, October 24th from 12:30 in the morning till 6 a.m. We're going to take Blackboard offline on that day to do some updates to the system. We do maintenance every Friday morning. You just don't realize it most of the time as a student, but we do let you know if we do have to take Blackboard offline for that time so you can plan, because you wouldn't want to log in Thursday night at 11:30 and start a 2-hour exam, because that exam wouldn't be finished until after the offline time and you'd be kicked out. Some other things to look at over here, you have this help and support area, and it says 7 a.m. to 1 a.m., but that is now available to you actually 24 hours a day. You can call 1-888-IVY line and you can get help with Blackboard. If they can't help you, they'll go ahead and create a ticket that will send that ticket actually to the online office, and we'll be able to respond to that whenever we get that. And usually it means the next day. If you submitted it late at night, if you submit it in the morning, we'll get it that same day. Another important thing on this home page is this Test Your Browser button. When you click on that, it's going to run a very quick diagnostic on your system. And here it tells you about your computer. Looks like I'm running this screen resolution. I've got some information here on my system. I can support JavaScript. I'm allowing cookies. I've got Java runtime environment. And these are all things that are required for Blackboard to run properly. If those are not all check-marked green, you're going to run into some problems with Blackboard. And if you need help getting that set up, the Ivy line is an excellent source for that help. Under optional components, I've got my Flash Player and Shockwave. I don't have my Windows Media Player set up. Chances are that's not going to cause me a problem, so I don't have to worry about that. If I do run into needing it again in the future, that's something that I can go ahead and download. And the Scalable Vector Graphics Viewer, very rarely does that run into an issue, so we're going to leave that alone. Pop-ups, you do sometimes need to enable your pop-up blocker, or turning that off rather, but that's okay. If that comes up along the way, we can help you with that. And then third-party file types we've got that are out there: PowerPoint, Excel, documents, PDFs. All of those are items that you may want to have installed on your computer. Okay, so let's go back to the home page and go ahead and log in. You're going to use the same credentials that you use when you log into Campus Connect. When you change your Campus Connect password, it will change your Blackboard password. Once you're logged in, you can see the courses that you're enrolled in. A couple other links that are important to you. Click for help. And you don't have a faculty help and student help. Students just have the student help page. And this is what it looks like for you. So you've got Blackboard tools for students, information on resetting your password. Here's the browser test again. Publisher information. If you're having problems with a Pearson product, here's the phone line that you can call and get additional help. Here's some links to other items that may be of interest to you. If you're interested in using the mobile application, you can click here to learn more about that. And then there's also Blackboard Instant Messenger, and we have a separate video that goes over Blackboard IM. So let's go back to the My Blackboard, and let's find a course where I am a student. And here we go. So Business 201. Once I'm logged in as a student, the most important thing to look at when I first log into my class is have there been any new announcements made. So on October 8th, Ms. Speck here has left an announcement for us letting me know that the APA Style Guide is located under the Resources tab. And she's also included a draft of a paper. So that's definitely something that if I was taking this course for real, I'd want to check out. The announcements page is always the place to start in your course. When you first come into the course on the first day, you'll want to click on the Start Here tab. This is where your syllabus and your course calendar are. And those are very important items to download and have available to you. So I can download my syllabus. It's going to open as a Word file. This is important because it has my instructor's information on it, her supervisor's information, and it tells me about the course, tells me about my textbook requirements. It has the college policies listed. Talks about what Ms. Speck expects for communication. She says that she's committed to responding to students within 36 hours, including weekends, and that's an expectation of all of our online faculty. And she says that she prefers to use email. Here's the information on how a student is going to be graded. That's important to know. You want to know what's expected of you and what the grading scale is. There's other additional information here on campus support, the library, and if you need accommodations through disability support services, there's the information on how to get a hold of those folks. Okay, so we're going to close that window. And looking under class sessions, this is actually where class takes place. And if it's week 1, I'm going to start by clicking on session 1. And starting at the top, what's the overview? What am I going to be learning this week? By the end of this week, what should I know? What are the learning activities? Well, I have an outline. Here's a link to information that is actually out on a Cengage site. And I know that it's Cengage just by this little icon. Each of the publishers has their own. There's some videos. Here's some more videos that are built into the class. And down here where it says assignments and assessments, this is where the work begins for credit. I have a discussion board that I need to answer. I have an assignment to turn in. And I have a quiz. And then after everything's said and done, I've got a little summary of what I should have picked up this week, what I should have learned, and what's going to happen next week. So let's look at these different items here. With the discussion board, here's the question. The purpose of this board is to spend some time getting to know your classmates and practice responding to classmates' posts. And I need to answer these 2 questions. What are your personal expectations for this course? And what is something about that you like to tell people? When I click on the discussion board, it's going to send me to a place where I can actually make my post. So here's the introductions. I'll click on there. And now that I am in this forum, I can go ahead and create a thread. And that's how I create new post that is mine. I give it a subject, and I enter the information that is requested in the prompt, and then I want to submit it. If I hit Save as Draft, Ms. Speck will not be able to grade it, so I want to submit it. Let's go back to that class session. There was also an assignment that was due. And it's asking that when we answer the chapter questions, we submit them here in this format. And she's asking for a brief summary of the case in a few sentences. What's the issue? What are the relevant rules of law? And what's the conclusion? So once I have put that information together, I'm going to click on this link. I know that it's worth 20 points. And I'm going to browse my computer to find the file. And let's just say that this is my assignment file. I'm going to click on that. And then again, I'm going to submit. If I do a save as draft, my instructor won't be able to find it. If I want to send a note to my instructor, I can say, please find attached my assignment for this week. Thank you. And that way I've communicated with my instructor, and then I can hit submit. One of the things that's important to keep track of is when everything is due, and one of the places that you can find that is under the course calendar. Under Start Here, in the calendar, activities and deadlines, session 1 says that the discussion board was all due on, the initial post was due on the 29th, and everything else due on the 31st. And then I had a quiz to do, and I had an assignment to do. Due on September 7th, 2 quizzes and some questions. So you want to keep track of your calendar, and you can also download a copy of your calendar from this printer friendly section. And again, it will open up in Word for you. You can reach the discussion boards directly through this button. If you need help on something, you can either contact your instructor directly, or if it's not something that you think only your instructor can answer, maybe it's a question that you can pose to the class. And the Cyber Cafe gives you a place where you can be a little off topic, but it gives you a chance to discuss issues related to class. Resources is usually where instructors will put extra information, links to the textbook, information on assignments, and they'll tell you to go look in the resources for those items, but it never hurts to take a look. If you'd like to know more about your instructor, you can click the Instructor tab. Here we have Ms. Speck's title. She's an associate professor in the School of Business. There's her phone number and her email address and where I would find her on campus, as well as information on her supervisor. Under the Communication and Tools button, that's just another location to help you get to certain areas of the course quickly. And then the Help button is a really very valuable resource. If you need information on setting up your computer, working in Canvas Connect or Blackboard, you can get that information directly from here, or you can submit a help desk ticket. But quite often, just clicking right here, and let's say I'm not sure about what this global navigation is. So I can click on the guide, and now it's going to tell me all about this little menu that's located right up here next to the logout button. And this is a handout that I can print or I can just look at, but it talks me through what information is available under the global navigation button. And if that's not enough, if I want to know more, I can click on video.
In this video, we'll be discussing global navigation.
And you'll get additional information that way. So there's a lot of things that can be answered just by going to that help button. And that is found right there in your course. At any time, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the Sellersburg campus for assistance. Our email address is SL for Sellersburg, SL-online@ivytech.edu.